We got Simone, and we got my man Mitchie, and we got my man Constant B, and we got my man Israel Z.
Alrighty, Gospel Party Show. Who's in the house?
Bugsy.
Yeah, Bugsy ain't coming out, man.
I got Bugsy on punishment.
All right, so who's in the house today?
Well, first of all, Jesus Christ is always in the house. So we want to say thanks to God for always giving us air to breathe, for waking us up this morning, and for giving us the opportunity to do the blessed gospel party. Well, I got a whole bunch of guests in the house with us tonight. I'm excited tonight. We got one of our other hosts here, Big Dapper John.
What's good?
Sitting behind me, who is that? CB, do I got Constance Battle? And back here to the rear, I got Israel and my very, very lovely, hallelujah, guest in the house, my most illustrious Miss Simone, hallelujah. I'm so glad that she's here. I got a lot to talk to you about, Simone. And lastly, my other guest is Miss, who happens to be the fiance, hallelujah, the love of Miss Simone's life. So we got a lot going on back here.
Yeah, that's the pistol dude right there. You don't want to mess with Simone. That's the pistol dude right there. Yeah. You know.
We got a lot going on back here tonight. The shows that we have tonight, we're going to be talking to Simone. We're going to just kind of find out from her, how in the world did she get from Buffalo to New York all the way to Death Row Records? And Death Row, you know, it was its own city at one point in time. It seemed like it was just its very own conglomeration. Death Row Records had just taken over, and they had a lot of great artists. And I'm going to just go right on over and talk to you, Simone, for just a little bit. How in the world did you get from Buffalo, New York, all the way to Death Row Records?
This transition started from Buffalo to Detroit.
Wow, okay.
And I took about
So you're originally from Buffalo?
I'm originally from Buffalo. And I went from Buffalo to Detroit, and then I did 3 trips from Detroit to Los Angeles.
Okay, what was that all about?
Just trying to find myself. Okay. I was in California the first time, and I didn't have a degree, but I took photography at the trade school there, and photography, commercial photography.
Okay.
And then I took radio and TV production.
What is commercial photography? Give us a little clue.
Commercial photography is when you do items. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to worry about them smiling.
Okay, so you got pictures and shoes, which we love shoes, right?
And I learned how to develop black and white film. That's where it all started.
Okay, very nice. So you developed your own personal trade and figured out that I'm going to figure out who I am and what the love of my life is. Now, what sparked the love of photography for you?
My father was a photographer here in Buffalo. He did weddings, and I decided I wanted to take it to a new level.
Okay.
So I had to go and do some things. You just can't go up in Hollywood and say, oh, I'm a photographer.
So you decided that instead of being a starving artist, I'm going to get myself together and make sure I can make a living.
Right, because I couldn't dance or sing.
Okay, but you're beautiful.
Thank you.
But you say your looks wasn't getting it, wasn't paying the bills, huh?
No.
She's definitely a beautiful person. So as you were, you said you were going back and forth between Buffalo, Detroit.
No, I was going between Detroit and Los Angeles.
Detroit and Los Angeles.
When I left Buffalo behind.
It was a done deal,
it was a wrap, so I wasn't coming back.
So you basically come back to visit.
I come back to visit and to check on my mom, and that's it.
All right, sounds good. So what were you doing in Los Angeles? What was the connection out there for you?
Well, my cousin was Melvin Franklin from the Temptations.
Okay, hold on.
So.
One of the same.
Right.
Yes, this is Melvin.
Right, this is Melvin.
From the Temptations.
All right.
That one.
That's the one. Okay, well, I wanted to know which one it was. All right. So Melvin from the Temptations.
So Melvin from the Temptations.
Okay.
I was in California. I broke ground there.
Okay.
And to not give out the book, I won't tell the whole
story.
Get
to the book.
But I got my feet wet, and I was at Motown, and I started out working at Solar Records and Capitol Records with BB and CeCe Winans, doing the photography with Freddie Jackson. And your audience might not know who Freddie Jackson is, but
I think they may.
They might.
I know who Freddie is.
Freddie Jackson is.
And so
I wanna rock with you,
that Freddie.
Yeah,
Freddie.
I know who Freddie is.
We know Freddie.
I started at Soul Train. I had a
Okay.
girlfriend that worked at Soul Train. She ran the stage. She ran everything.
Wow.
She got me a job in there, and I stayed at Soul Train for almost close to 3 years.
Well, that's interesting. I got to pause for the cause. What was going on? Were you in the Soul Train line? Like,
No.
how'd that happen? Yeah, you didn't get in the line or nothing like that?
I was the photographer.
You were just making money. You were getting a check,
I was
right?
getting the money. I was getting the money.
Okay.
You know, so, and then everything started happening from there.
Okay.
You know, because once you go to Soul Train, the artists that come to Soul Train, if you make a connection with them, you can always double back.
Oh, wonderful.
So I got to meet a lot of people, Whitney
Okay.
Houston.
Wow, that had to have been a pleasure.
You
know, even though
she was a little cranky because she was pregnant.
Okay, all right.
But-
So she was pregnant with Bobby Whitney?
Yeah, she was pregnant with Bobby Whitney
Is that her
at that
name?
time.
Is that the baby's name, Bobby Whitney?
Yeah.
All right.
But that was the second time to LA.
Okay.
But I did a lot of stuff in the industry.
Okay.
You know.
Wow. So what was the connection? How did you actually get to Death Row Records? I mean, that's what we really want to get to know, find out. You know, Death Row is such a, you know, when you think of the name in and of itself, I mean, it brings so many memories and thoughts in and of itself. You know, I mean, there's a lot that we see on television, you know, Suge Knight, Tupac. There's a lot that went on with Death Row. How'd you even make such a grand connection?
Well, I was married.
Okay.
And
Girl, it happens. It happens.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I was married.
I gotta ask those hardball questions. So what happened?
So, and him and he managed David Ruffin Jr.
Your previous husband
Husband.
managed David Ruffin Jr.
Right.
Which one is that?
That's
David
no,
Come and freak with me.
I just had to
The
make
one
him
who
sing
sing
it.
on my record.
I know. I just
Right.
thought I'd plug it for you.
Okay. First of all, this cat used to be my artist. So just so y'all know. Okay,
There we
so
go.
Let's put that out there. Let's
This is
put
the guy
that
that
out.
we were talking about here.
But David Ruffin and Tony Green came to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And me, I don't, chance after chance after chance, I don't give you no more chances. So they went out
Okay.
with one of David's girls.
Okay.
And they met Warren G,
Okay.
Nate Dogg, and Snoop in the men's bathroom.
Moving the
Not to
camera.
say them, David Ruffin did.
Sure.
And David was trying not to be a groupie.
Okay.
And Snoop and them was trying not to be a groupie.
Okay.
When they said
found
his
out who
name,
he was.
when they found out he was David Ruffin Jr.
That's right. That's a little difficult to do. You're like, David
I
Ruffin.
wasn't expecting her to hear me.
Right, I heard you.
I have good ears, and I bring it all out. Y'all know me.
But they met David in the bathroom.
Okay.
So when they found out David Ruffin Jr., their first question is, first of all, Snoop is stuck back then.
Okay.
And
all right.
so that's the
That's right.
Temptations.
That's
And he's like, you know, are you related to David Ruffin from the Temptations? He's like,
Okay.
yes, that's my dad. So they exchanged phone numbers, and I guess the guys played phone tag for a couple of days.
Okay.
And once Tony was able to get back with Warren G, Dre had just fired his bass player.
Okay. And we're talking Dr. Dre.
And we're talking about
Dre
the
beats
Dr.
Dr. Dre. Right.
And he had him come into the studio, and he dropped a beat, and Tony played the bass, and he got the job. Well,
like
I
to drop
still
the
hadn't
play
got
bass
there.
and get
I
a
still
job.
hadn't got there though.
Okay.
Because now he's mad because I didn't let them move in.
All right. Tell the truth. Shame the devil.
You know, so they like, oh,
Bro, this is kind of
we're
hot and
gonna turn-
spicy up
this
in
is
here.
hot and spicy.
We're not going to help her out.
That's
you know,
right.
I'm
That's
in the
fine.
doghouse. So, but then he had to think about, now if she gets a divorce, I gotta pay spousal support. Okay, well let me get her a job.
Okay.
And that's what he did. He got me.
So
a
it was
job.
cheaper to keep her?
No, it was cheaper to get her a job.
Oh, it's cheaper
Not
to get a job.
So,
Okay.
and so that's what happened. I got the job with Dre first, and Suge and Dre always compete.
So when you say the job, are you talking about the photography job?
Right.
Wonderful.
I just had
Wow.
just a regular little job around
Okay.
doing stuff with Dre.
Okay.
And then it wasn't even 2 weeks before I met Suge. But
Wow.
I knew Suge from my first two
Solar.
trips at Solar Records.
Oh my. Okay.
But he was a young 16, 17-year-old.
Okay.
And It's almost like they had this party. Snoop had an opening, and he walked in the building and walked straight to me, and I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, why is he walking straight to me? And he's like, here's my card, give me a call Monday. And I'm like, for what? And he was like, just call me. And so I called him on Monday, and
he was affiliated with Death Row Records at that time, right?
He was the CEO.
He was the CEO,
and we were in his wife's office.
Okay.
Who was Snoop's manager?
Okay.
Conflict of interest.
Okay, understood.
So, but I'm like, oh, he want me to call him. I'm gonna
This
call
just
him. But
business.
I didn't have a clue.
Okay.
This competition between Dre and Suge.
Understandable. Okay.
So I went to the office and didn't know that he was going to hire me on the spot as the chief photographer at Death Row Records, and that's how I started.
I can only imagine the types of photography that you've taken and the photos that are in your repertoire. Wow.
Yeah, I have
you
a lot
probably
of
can
stuff.
just get who knows how much money from the things you have already.
Yeah, well, you know, they don't
sometimes
never
it's
want to
probably
give the
personal,
ladies the
though.
money that they supposed to.
So
They
you
always
ended up-
give it to the guys.
So basically you ended up with that whole glass ceiling type of a feeling
Yeah.
as well, where even though you know that you were deserving of all the money, of all the glory, of all the fame, God had something for you later on, right?
Right.
All right,
Well, see,
that's
I didn't
okay.
really want the fame, but I did want the check.
I know that's right. We do want our check. We do want our money.
I did
Buy
not,
groceries
you know.
with fame.
That's right.
Right.
You can't buy groceries with fame. That's right.
I needed an ATM card that I go to the bank, put it in there, give me the money.
Get my money
You know,
out.
and
That's
then I
right.
got greedy over here. He was
You
there
wanna
too.
eat all the time,
he was there.
right? Okay.
Right. No,
So
he was there.
during this
So,
time.
and I mean, after
So what
what
were you doing there?
Well, I don't know. I was everywhere, you know.
Story already.
Yeah. You know, we you know how I met her nephew. I was down with him here in Buffalo, and they were doing Death Row, and they was doing a show in New York City, and he was like, "Yo, man, my aunt is coming down from the city, and she's coming to Buffalo." And she from Death Row Records. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We had a couple of people, and she came down. The day she came down, we went over his house, and she sat there. She came in the door. I was like, wow, okay, she from Death Row? I said, okay. So I'm sitting there, and she was like, okay, rap.
Like how we gonna do y'all later on.
Like
Wait,
how I do
She
you
just-
all the time.
So you're a
you
rapper?
gotta be ready at all times.
She came out and said, okay, rap. So I said, okay, well, here's my cassette. We're going to put my cassette. She said, no, I want to hear you rap
All right.
right now.
Forget a cassette.
Make
Stop.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was
Make
like,
sure it's really
"Please
him."
hear my cassette first. He was like, no, I want you to rap. So, you know, I rapped, and she was like, okay, I don't want to hear nobody else. You, give me your number. I was like, dang, okay. All right. I was nervous. I was like, just that quick? And like from that day, like 3 weeks, she called my house and was like, yo, you ready? I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, well, go to the airport and pick up your ticket and meet me in LA.
Wow. Hold on a second. So it happened that quick. So Simone came to town. You met Simone. You rapped for Simone. Simone had a plane ticket.
In 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks, you flew him out, and then I ended up getting pregnant. Ain't that some stuff, y'all? so this is all because of you.
Her fault.
It's all your fault.
But listen though, the first time, soon as I got off the plane, in LA, we went straight to the store. She said, yo, listen, get right here, get what you want, boom, boom, boom. And from there, we went to the store, got outfit, and went straight to Nate Dogg's video shoot. Put me right in the video shoot, right from the airplane.
Wait.
Okay, so we
he
missing
missed
a part. We missing a part. We missing a part. Okay, what we missing?
Okay, I said,
What's he missing?
where's your luggage?
Oh yeah, she done took all my stuff and cut it up and everything. Poured bleach on my clothes.
So wait a minute.
And
You
I
had an
told
ex.
Simone,
So she had drama with an ex, and then you had drama with an ex.
yeah.
That was his.
That was his own ex, so you had your
drama
own
too.
ex drama.
But he didn't have no luggage when he got to
Yeah.
Los
So he didn't
Angeles, and I was like, okay,
He
so
was broke.
where's your?
He He had
No,
nothing.
he had nothing. I'm
Nothing.
like, you got a toothbrush, honey?
Right.
He's like, no.
No.
So I had to go and get a toothbrush. You see how big